Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Outside with Mr. Mike. Today we're doing something a little bit different today. We are working on this Mercury 110 that I received from a neighbor about 9-10 months ago. I haven't really done a whole lot with it. 12-foot Shasta Western, or Western Shasta, I'm sorry, that he was getting rid of, and I was asked if I wanted a boat, and I said, hey, I'll take a boat. So, ended up with that. This is part of what he gave me as well, this Mercury 110. I'm not quite sure what year it is. I know that it's on some of the basic research that I've done. It's a sometime in the early to late 60s was when these were produced. And this looks to be kind of earlier versions of this that I've seen. Haven't done a whole lot with it. I've shot some carb cleaner into the carburetor and have gotten it to fire off just for a second, just to see if we had spark, which we did, and that the carburetor was halfway working. So I haven't run fuel through the fuel pump or anything like that yet because there is an issue, and that is what we are addressing today. So this right here is our main issue. This is a little nipple that comes out of the outboard and connects to a Mercury fuel line. Quick disconnect, and this is broken. This should be out a little bit further. So I did find the replacement part. Part number is 32454. And today we're going to be doing a quick replacement of that. So let's get into it. So now that the cover's off, I don't know if you're going to be able to see it too well, but there's two bolts here that go into a brass 90. In fact, let me just do this and make life easier. So this bolt here connect to that nipple, and then this brass 90 goes into the carburetor, which is located right here. So the part that we are going to be replacing today is this part right here, 32454. It did take me a little bit of research to find this part, but was able to find it and got it in less than a week. So we're going to go ahead and take a gander at this and pull it apart. So we're going to start by taking these two bolts out. They are 8mm, and I need a shorter extension than that one. Got that first one loose, and this thing is extremely loose. There are some springs that hold this in place here, so you want to be mindful of that. I found some information on these Merc 110s, but not a whole lot. I'm probably just looking in the wrong places, to be honest. These were mass produced, but I do find it a little difficult to find some information on it. I'm also brand new to outboards and boating. I've spent most of my time on the water on a kayak, so this is all new territory to me as far as outboards. This is a 9.8 two-stroke. It's almost loose, but not quite. So that's what it looks like. And there's one on each side. So this is a really easy fix. Doesn't look like it's going to be too complicated at all. It would probably be easier to take the carb out too, but I'm being lazy. So unbeknownst to me, there were these little nuts on the bottom end of those bolts, and those pass through the frame of the outboard and sit underneath, and that bolt just popped right out. So again, I'm brand new to these outboards and don't know a whole lot quite yet, so part of the learning experience. And that second bolt's out. And it looks like I'm going to have to pull the carb anyways, which is fine, not a big deal. To pull the carb, there's a bolt here, and there's a bolt back over here. So I'll pull those off real quick and get that out of the way so that I can then get to the rest of what I'm doing here. And that's going to be a 7/16 bolt that holds that in place. Not a lot of room to work with right here. There we go. I'm going to go ahead and get this other bolt off. This is going to take a little bit more time than I expected. So I will come back once this is off. Alright, so after some finagling, took a little bit longer than I expected, but not too bad. I did get the carb off. And the part that we are replacing is this part right here. So, as you can see, the old one was snapped, and the way this works is a quick connect fuel line goes in here, twists, locks on these little pegs here, and then you have a quick disconnect fuel supply. So now that we got that done, I just need to put the new adapter onto the end here, squeeze it in through the hole here, and it'll sit like that, and then the new connector will go in there. My connector that I got is a different one from the standard Mercury ones. Earlier model Mercuries used a smaller adapter, so it basically won't fit into this hole here. The new standard adapters that you can get pretty much anywhere, those ones do not work on this older engine. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and reconnect this adapter and get this all plugged back in. The only things that I had to do to get this to work was to remove these two 7/16 nuts here, and then there is a fuel line right here that goes into the block. I did have to remove that hose from the carburetor, and that is located right there. So just plug that back in, tighten down that hose clamp, and then put the carburetor back on. This particular nut is a bit difficult to get to. This would be as if you're looking up from the bottom of the outboard, and this is the room you have to work with. So I could take this little fuel pump off and make my life a little bit easier, but I don't want to dive too deep into the carburetor just yet. I don't know what issues we may have with it, but from shooting carb cleaner directly down the butterfly here, I was able to get the outboard pulled or kicked over. So not the end of the world if I have to take the carb back off, but let's go ahead and do everything that we just did in reverse. So I'm going to start by feeding this through and getting that situated, which was easy to do. And then from there, just a matter of lining up the carburetor onto the studs. So I've been battling this thing, trying to get it in for the last 20-ish minutes or so. Mainly just because that 7/16 was really hard to get to, and then I thought, well, maybe if I take the float portion of the carb off, that may make my life a little bit easier, and I'm glad I did. I don't know if the camera can pick that up. Let me get a flashlight on it. But there is a ton of gunk in there. Definitely something you don't want to be running in your engine. So I'm going to clean that out real quick since I'm already here, and then get this back together. One of those fun things where 10-minute job turns into an hour and a half, right? But comes with the territory. Let's clean it up. Clean as a whistle. So I got everything back together. Ended up being a bit of a pain in the butt, to be honest, but we made it happen. I'm just tightening down this last end piece for the fuel. So we do have a fuel connection now. Bring this down just a little bit. Fuel connectors right here. Got the choke all reset, and it actually has a little bit more play in it than it did previously, although I did notice that spring just jumped, but it is still operating just fine. We got all the gunk out of the bowl in the carburetor. We have plenty of clearance for the shifter, and then this is the fuel pump right here, so we got plenty of room there. And then I did end up disconnecting this fuel line back here that goes into the cylinders. Got that all situated, and everything's moving as it should. So the last thing I need to do tonight is put the pull start back on, which I will do here momentarily. Just 3 screws that hold this in place. Sits like that, and then we'll be done for tonight. Next thing I need to do is get my fuel connector, which should be coming in the mail tomorrow tentatively, and then I can actually put some fuel from a gas tank into this thing and get it going. So definitely looking forward to that, and that's that. So let's throw these last 3 screws on real quick. Alright, that's going to do it for this episode with Outside with Mr. Mike. Hope you enjoyed it. Something a little bit different. I've been tinkering with stuff most of my life. Thank you to my dad. Shout out to my dad. And yeah, we'll see what happens in this next one. As always, thank you for watching, and we will catch you on the next one. Take care.